The team at Technology for Hotels knows how busy you are, so we've created this concise briefing to keep you up to date on key happenings in the hotel industry. Let's dive in. All right, so let's kick this off with what seems to be a huge push in regional investment. We're seeing some really unique new offerings across APAC.
We are. It's all about strategic capacity enhancement. I mean, especially in Australia, developers aren't just building rooms.
Right.
They're building destinations. They're adding high-end amenities to capture that, high-yield business and leisure travel.
Okay, let's start with a big one then. The Voco Gosford on the NSW Central Coast.
A huge moment for that region.
130 rooms, part of that whole Archibald mixed-use precinct. And the NSW Premier was even there.
Exactly. And that attendance tells you this isn't just another hotel opening. It's being positioned as essential infrastructure.
So for our listeners, what's the key takeaway?
Look at the amenities package. That's where the strategy is. You've got a rooftop pool with a swim-up bar, 6 different dining venues, and a grand ballroom.
Yeah. So they're competing directly with the big city destinations.
They are, and we're seeing that same thinking up north. The Crowne Plaza Maroochydore just got approval. A $150 million project.
Targeting a 2028 opening, right?
Yeah, and the context there is just fascinating. It's being built to address a reported shortfall of over 2,400 hotel rooms on the Sunshine Coast.
2,400, that's a huge gap.
It's a capacity crisis, really. So this new property, with its 180 rooms and all that event space, is strategically vital. It's a major relief valve for the region.
Okay, so if the Sunshine Coast is playing catch-up, what's happening in Tasmania? The Tasman and Hobart seems to be going after a very specific market.
They are. They're doubling down on profitability, not just capacity. They announced Lumina, a new architectural event venue.
Aimed at high-value corporate guests.
Absolutely. This is a direct play for a bigger slice of Australia's $21 billion business events sector.
And the target is that incentive travel delegate, I assume.
That's the one. The numbers here are, frankly, staggering. These delegates spend, on average, $1,347 per person or day.
That is an incredible figure. So what does that mean for a hotel operationally? You can't just open the doors, can you?
No, not at all. It requires a total shift. You have to move from a mindset of efficiency to one of hyper-personalization. It demands really high-touch, bespoke experiences.
Interesting. Shifting gears a bit to pure luxury, the Park Hyatt Tokyo just finished a massive renovation.
19 months, the biggest in its 30-year history. That's about preserving an icon, maintaining its pricing power.
And you can contrast that preservation strategy with something totally new, like what's happening in the Philippines.
Exactly. At the South Palms Resort and Spa Panglao and Mi Gallery property.
Like Lola's Sanctuary, Bohol's first international luxury resort spa.
And what stands out is the deep cultural immersion. Their signature ritual uses something called asin taibuk.
A rare artisanal salt, 400 years old.
Yeah. And that's the kind of detail you just can't manufacture. It's about an authentic story, a connection to place. That's what drives loyalty and justifies a premium rate today.
And then on the other end of the scale, we've got tiny homes. Reflections Holidays invested almost $1 million in 4 of them.
And the return on that is what's really worth noting. It's projected to generate over $1 million in annual tourism revenue.
But the bigger number was this social well-being value. $8 million. What is that?
So that's a metric that looks beyond direct ROI. It calculates broader community benefits, things like improved mental health from access to nature, local pride. It shows that public sector investment models are evolving.
That makes sense. Okay, so from grand ballrooms to tiny homes, this all requires scale, which brings us to the big strategic brand moves and acquisitions this week.
Right. And what we're seeing is some really aggressive expansion, especially from luxury and lifestyle portfolios like IHG's Vignette Collection.
So let's start with IHG. They're really pushing Vignette across Asia.
They are. It's a great model for them, bringing independent hotels into their system. They're entering Malaysia by signing the Mangala Estate Kuantan.
And doubling down in the Maldives.
Their 6th property there. And the key thing with Vaagali Maldives is the focus on sustainability, coral restoration. ESG is no longer a checkbox. It's a core part of the product.
And if IHG is about tailored luxury, Accor seems to be going for sheer scale.
An unbelievable scale. They just signed their largest Mövenpick hotel globally in the Philippines.
The Mövenpick Manila Bay West Side. 1,530 rooms.
I mean, just think about the operational challenge of a property that size, but the so what here is huge. This deal makes Accor the largest hotel firm by count in the Philippines overnight. It's It's a massive bet on that market.
And scale often leads to conversions, right? We're seeing a lot of rebranding.
For sure. Conversions offer speed to market. Hilton's doing it in Kyoto, converting the Kyoto Brighton Hotel to a Curio Collection.
We also saw the Schwartz family company partner with Choice Hotels for the Laura Gardens Resort.
A classic franchise play. Local operational expertise from Schwartz, global distribution and loyalty from Choice.
And they're planning to add about 100 new rooms, which is a significant expansion.
It is. And Choice is also pushing upscale with its Ascend collection. They've brought in the Gladius Parramatta, which is a Holiday Inn. It's a smart way for the property to keep its independent feel but get that global reach.
You know, I find these new growth models really interesting, especially Panache Hotel Group, PHG.
Ah, yes, the franchise model.
Exactly. What is that?
It's a hybrid. They combine elements of a lease, so they have operational control, with a franchise for the brand and the distribution system.
So what's the incentive for a property owner?
It's all about speed and flexibility. It lets PHG manage the asset and drive profitability, all under a recognized brand name. It's a model built for really rapid growth, which is why they're aiming to double their portfolio by late 2026.
And one final note on the investment side. News that Henry Chang, owner of Rosewood, might be looking to sell some assets.
Yeah, reportedly seeking a partial exit. And that's a bellwether. When a major player in the ultra-luxury space does that, it makes everyone else in the market pause and think about valuations and liquidity. Definitely one to watch.
Okay, so these brand movements are huge, but they don't mean much if the operations aren't efficient. Let's shift our focus to those persistent challenges and the tech imperative.
Let's start with a quick health check. The ATEC report shows Australian inbound tourism is stabilizing. Demand from Asia is growing. Markets like China, the UK, Italy, all showing growth.
But there's always a but. The report flagged two major hurdles.
Two huge ones. Workforce capacity is still the #1 challenge, finding and keeping good staff. And second is air access, especially for the regional areas we were just talking about.
You can't fill a hotel if people can't get there.
It's that simple. The link between infrastructure and hotel profitability is just unavoidable.
And yet we're seeing demand for these unique spots. Design Hotel's APAC portfolio now accounts for a record 28% of their global growth.
That's right. It proves that while the big brands are scaling up, discerning travelers are actively seeking out those unique design-led properties. And APAC is the engine room for that growth.
Now let's talk tech. This is where the real operational efficiency gains are. Wyndham's rollout of Canary AI Voice seems like a massive deal.
It's a huge shift from pilot to full-scale deployment. And it's driven by one really critical metric.
The missed calls.
Up to 30% of inbound calls at hotels are missed, and many of those are booking inquiries just walking out the door. This AI ensures every single call is answered instantly. That's immediate revenue.
So for leaders listening, why the push to adopt AI now, even if some solutions feel, a bit imperfect?
Because waiting means falling behind. Your competitors are already getting these efficiency gains. You have to adopt task-specific AI today, chatbots, AI voice, dynamic pricing tools. The gains are measurable and immediate.
But there's a lot of talk about the next step, this AI orchestration layer. Can you break that down in simple terms?
Absolutely. Think of the orchestration layer as a virtual general manager. It's a master system. A guest might text a complex request late checkout, a dinner reservation, and a question about the pool hours.
Okay.
The orchestration layer understands that whole request and routes each part to a specialized AI agent or bot that's trained for that specific task.
And how does it make sure the answers are accurate, not just making things up?
That's the key. It uses a technology called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. It forces the AI to check the hotel's own internal live data, the PMS, the maintenance schedule, before it gives an answer. So it's accurate and context-specific.
So the advice today is to start with those specific tools, the chatbots, the AI voice, to build a foundation for that future.
Precisely. Get the foundation right now, get the immediate efficiencies, and make sure your data is ready for that full orchestration layer when it becomes mainstream.
Great. We'll wrap up this week with a rapid-fire rundown of the big people moves, our stars in motion.
We saw Kyung Pang appointed GM of Oaks Lake Krakenback Resort for Minor Hotels, and Paul Flynn is now GM of the Royal Bondi at Maryvale.
Pierre Betourne has been named GM of Pullman Bangkok Hotel G, and Todd Williams is the new GM for Pepper Seminac.
And on the executive front, Travis Burns is now EVP of Business Development at Remington Hospitality. And Salter Brothers Hospitality brought on Chris Curran as their new Chief Operating Officer.
That wraps up this week's 5-Star Weekly Briefing. Thanks for tuning in and staying informed with the latest in the hotel industry.
Don't forget to check out our 5-Star Conversations podcast, where Brendan Granger from Technology for Hotels sits down with the industry's most influential leaders to uncover their journeys, insights, and the future of hospitality. It's a must-listen for anyone passionate about elevating their guest experience and driving innovation in the hotel world.
Until next time, stay well and stay ahead. See you next week.